Alright guys, in today's video we're swapping out the rear axle on this Ram 1500, so let's get started. Alright guys, and welcome back to today's video. So we're at an unfamiliar spot. This is our boy Jason Daria's new shop. He's underneath there. He'll be out in just a second. He's just tying up our rear sway bar. So in I think in the last video, it depends when I get all this stuff out to you guys. I ended up changing out the rear tires because we had a little bit of vibration. And talking to Jason, I think it's pinion bearings. Or is that what went, or is it chicken or the egg?
It's a little bit of both.
Chicken and the egg.
Yeah, exactly.
So we don't know which one happened first, but regardless, we have a constant speed dependent whine. It's not on decel, it's not on coast, it's not on acceleration. It's just constantly screaming.
Trash.
The donor axle, which is over there, we'll show you guys afterwards. We're actually gonna be putting in, not by choice, just by coincidence, his axle that came out of his truck that has a Detroit True Track. I think that's pretty much it for it. Upgrades, right?
Just True Track. It's got a crush sleeve eliminator, brand new Mopar axle shafts, all new bearings and seals and all that good stuff in it. I was kind of hard on it.
Do we tell them that?
It had a couple pretty hard hits on it. It didn't run a record on a factory axle, but it's as far as I can tell from now, it should be good to go in John's truck.
You heard it here.
It's a lot better than what's in there now. I can promise you that.
So it's not like we're doing anything crazy with this truck. We're just towing and stuff like that. So it should be fine. It's not gonna. If it made it and survived through his truck, I think it'll be fine on this one. But he said we got a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty on it, so we're good.
But that cancels as soon as it gets out of his door right here.
He's got Mopar's shirt. We got a Mopar factory warranty. So we'll show you guys what we're doing. Also, if you want to get a hold of Jason, he's got some stuff. He's always making some stuff. He's just one guy though, so we can't bombard him too much. But he's the one that designs and sells the active grill shutter delete kit for these trucks. He's got a few other things. I don't know if he's fully listed them, but you can follow him. You can contact him. He's got a few things. He's got a Facebook page which will link High Performance Rams. You guys probably have seen that if you're active at all in the groups. And then he's got a whole bunch of parts. He's just got some stuff. He's got a bunch of tooling coming. I don't know if he wants to talk about it, but some tooling coming that he's going to be designing and selling a bunch of parts. So definitely want to go check him out, and he'll at least post all the news on High Performance Rams. So if you guys want to stay up to date on all that stuff, I'm sure you'll find posts over there on what he's got going on and what he's selling.
Stay tuned on the page. We'll keep y'all updated.
Yes, sir. Yeah, these guys are always going fast with that stuff. But you guys are here probably for seeing how to remove one of these axles. So we're going to do it the same way you guys would probably do it on the garage floor, because that beast is up there. And that's a 4-post, so it probably wouldn't even help us much anyways. More of a 2-post thing. So we got the sway bar disconnected. We've got the axle suspended. What would be the next step? Track bar?
Track bar, panhard bar. We'll disconnect it. We'll disconnect the shocks and the brake line mounting points on the frame itself, just so we can get a little bit more sag out of the axle. Then we'll loosen the front control arm bolts and then the rear control arm bolts, so we can get full sag out of it and not have any binding within the bushings when it starts to come down. Okay. That can be dangerous, and it can be a royal pain in the to get an axle out when bushings are bound up. Excuse me. Yeah.
And we're gonna leave. We're not gonna have to deal with any brake bleeding. We're gonna swing the calipers out of the way, and then I've got brand new brakes I just installed. You guys probably saw that video. So I wish I had my Bilstein shocks, because we're gonna have them disconnect at one end, but we'll deal with that later. We'll get into it and get to work. Okay, so I got the 15 on here. I'm gonna remove these 4 bolts here. We got the vehicle in park. Probably gonna double up. We got a 16 wrench here, just so we can get a bit more leverage on it. And then I'll switch over to the impact. Okay, so bolts are removed. I'm gonna pop this out here, but I'm gonna move out of the way so I don't get beamed in the head, and we'll have this out. Next up, lower shock bolts. Jason's got that side, I'll do this side. Next up, upper control arm. He's just gonna loosen it, I believe. So the reason he's doing that is so that we can actually get this thing to swing so that it's not under the tension of the bushing. So he's gonna crack them loose. Not remove them, but just crack them loose so we can get these arms to swing down. Those ones are a lot easier. So I just disconnected my airbag on my side. Jason's working on his on that side. You guys probably don't have them on yours, I'm assuming, but if you do, they gotta come off. He's already beat me at taking off the caliper, so what we're gonna do is he's already got the 221 mils off, one there and one down below, and just gonna take it off the whole bracket, and then he's got it hanging over there with some tie wraps off the sway bar. So I'm gonna do that and we'll move on. All right, rotor's off. Okay, so that was a four-hander, so you guys didn't get to witness that, but you gotta retract the spring.
Move this, and you gotta get it just right, and then pull that, and then pull that.
Really? No. Get the hell out of here. So all he did was retract the spring, and then there's those little tabs. You had to squeeze them so you could fit it out of this hole. But if you want to follow his advice, let us know how it works in the comments. So this is a little setup Jason came up with. He's got a pallet jack. We got some blocks of wood. We've got our floor jack holding the axle up. We're gonna lower the axle with the floor jack, hopefully onto this wood. And we'll disconnect our control arms. So far, so good. Okay, so we're gonna pop the coils off. Jason's got his out.
You got your bottom out?
Yeah, bottom and top, full top.
Bottom and top?
Yeah. Stabilize, I guess, if you wanna. Yeah. ABS sensor free on your side, or just chilling there?
It's free.
Okay, so we're free. That's it, boys. All right, so this part you guys probably won't need to do, but we're just swapping over the backing plates. And in order to do that, we gotta pull the cover. Maybe we'll see some stuff in there that we don't want to see, some of the carnage. But we gotta pull the cover so we can get the clips out, so we can pull our axles out, so we can get our backing plates out, so we can swap them onto this axle over here. All right, so we just found out. You guys can probably hear that. But as you roll it over, I don't know if you guys can hear the ka-kunk, ka-kunk. And like, you guys can't see it, but when you're turning that, it feels all sorts of crunchy. And our oil is nice and sparkly. No chunks though, right? But that play isn't excess backlash, that's bearing play?
That's all bearing. You're hearing pinion bearings in there. Just real chunky, and so just what happens when you tow heavy loads and you don't know where the trucks came from, where you got it, what happened to it.
When you're almost at capacity of a 1500.
Yes, sir.
But all right, well, we're gonna get to the going. We're gonna pull the clips and pull these guys out. Okay. Axle shafts are out. Now we're just gonna zip off the backing plates for 18 mils, and then we can transfer them over. All right, not even lying. This was definitely 2 hours later. At least, but we got her fully assembled. Everything's swapped over. Got some new axles put over our different flange because he had a 1350 flange on there. We're gonna roll her in, reverse the steps, put her up, and send it. All right, so we used our pallet jack. Got our upper and lower control arms, our bolts in. We ended up starting with the top, and then we just rotated our axle and put the bottoms in. And he's got his spring pretty much ready to go. I gotta throw my spring in, and then we'll jack it up and we'll hook up our lower shock bolt. And then we're gonna take the pallet jack out and use our floor jack to go this way up. Watch the paint.
It's actually a trailer hitch.
That's the only newly painted part is the bumpers.
Oh, really?
Yeah, well, it's all chrome. This truck was all chrome, remember? Or I don't know if you probably never saw it before, actually. This is a Laramie truck. I didn't like all the chrome, so I deleted it all. Springs are in, lower shock bolts are in, parking brake cable is in. Jason's getting the other side. There's also the bolt that goes on the top of the pumpkin there with the little mount. Little, I believe 13 mil that holds that little bracket. And I can pretty much put my rotor on and put my actual brake caliper back on. Okay, brakes are tight. Got the ABS sensor. The 8 mils tight. Our 21s are tight. We've got our sway bar back in. Those are tight. Panhard bar is tight. We got our vent tube right there, back on. Got our parking brake cables. Those are all back in. Springs are in. Same thing here. All our hardware is tight. Our speed sensor wire tight.
One thing loose, but it's gonna be up to you to find it.
Oh God.
Maybe it was the pinion nut.
And then these are all loose right now. We're just about to tighten them down with the vehicle under load. So all these 24 millimeters on our control arms, we'll tighten all those. And we still gotta tighten our lower shock bolts as well. Okay, that's pretty much it, you guys. Everything's tight. Double check what you're doing. Everything's tight. We're both delirious. Don't ever attempt this on the floor. But you can get it done.
It sucks, but you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, we're working like the average guys over here. Yeah. Everybody complains when we do stuff on lifts. Say, I don't have a lift, I can never do that. But we did it on the floor, putting the wheels on, and that's about it. So, I'm gonna wrap up this video here, you guys. Any questions, ask down below. I wanna check out more cool stuff. Check out High Performance Rams and Jason on Facebook for now. Yep. If he changes that, I'll change down below in the link where you can find him. So, thanks for watching. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. See you guys in the next video. Later.